The time is now 6:57 on this Friday morning, and here's what you need to know before you go. Nearly 80% of Minnesota's fatal overdoses now involve fentanyl, and one Duluth mother who lost both of her sons is turning that tragic statistic into a community lifeline. On the corner of 87th Avenue West in the Morgan Park neighborhood, she's transformed her front lawn into a public memorial. She is also partnering with the local harm reduction sisters, urging everyone to carry Narcan, and is inviting the community to an overdose awareness event at Lincoln Park on August 29th.
Cloquet police continue asking for help identifying a suspect who allegedly pointed a gun at a woman and tried to steal her car. Here's a look at that person that the police are currently looking for. Police responded to the quick trip on Washington Avenue on Thursday, and Cloquet police are asking anyone with information to reach out.
FEMA teams are on the ground in northeastern Wisconsin to hopefully bring the region one step closer to federal help. Crews are going door to door following Governor Evers' request for an assessment. Once those inspections are done, the governor will decide whether to request a formal federal disaster declaration. President Trump will make the decision to approve any disaster declaration requests.
The DNR announced yesterday that the invasive zebra mussels have been discovered in another northern Minnesota body of water, the LaRue Mine Pit in Itasca County. Zebra mussels can clog water pipes and harm native life. Officials remind everyone that Minnesota law requires you to clean watercraft, trailers, and equipment.
And the nonpartisan group Braver Angels held a workshop with Duluth Indivisible last night to help people overcome the political conversations without demonizing the other side. Part of yesterday's workshop focused on how to respond constructively when conversations turn to ridicule. Braver Angels also offers free e-courses on its website.